Well, hello, and welcome to the Mediocre Arknights Operator guide featuring a bloody chicken. This is the closest we're getting to a KFC collab on the EN servers. Anyways, cue the montage. Why have to aim at your targets when you can just blow them up instead? Shooting didn't work for Fiammetta either, so we have ourselves an artilleryman sniper for today. Long rectangular attack range and deals area of effect physical damage. Fun times. If you want a fried chicken, you have to first, well, fry the actual chicken, and this thing of poultry will continuously lose health. But not to fear, if that chicken is in good condition, Fiammetta gets a 25% attack boost. And if she's peak deliciousness, that bonus is doubled. This talent may restrict your choice of placement, cause if you want that damage bonus, you gotta keep her healed, especially with that juicy damage boost. The burning of health will not take Fiammetta to 0 health, so you can, if you really wanted to, leave her out on her own. Second talent is pretty straightforward. You get more attack speed if Fiammetta has no skill active. Here's a simple side-by-side comparison with another artilleryman sniper just to show you how much plus 27 attack speed actually is. Skill 1, Provocate, adds another layer of attack range and raises attack by up to double for up to 30 seconds. If you need that extra stretch of range, there you go, it's just straight up damage. Boring, yes. Usable, Skill 2 was called Fiammetta, totally butchered that. It launches an explosive directly in front of Fiammetta all the way to the end of her attack range, then detonating, dealing a lot of damage. The launch shell also leaves a trail of fire that explodes when generated and then again after the big explosion. So just to make it as clear as possible, skill activates, shell gets launched forwards, mini explosions blow up in its path, big explosion happens, and the mini explosions happen again. So you've got some explosion overlap happening around there with a line of kabooms. This skill is the highest damaging skill given the explosions are occurring at the right place and the right time. The mini explosions are usually second in priority of it hitting enemies, still great damage though, but it's the big boom you want landing the most. And since it's a manual activation skill, it's up to you to time that detonation for maximum explosion overlap. Or just the big one, I don't blame you, sometimes you just can't be bothered with all that damage optimizing. But if you do care, a good spot is just slightly before the big explosion for the big damage, and decent overlap of mini-explosions. And for the most explosive of them all, we have the chicken's third skill, Reptonite, which locks attack into the one tile at the very end of her attack range and launches wide area of effect blasts at that spot. The blast zone is a 2-tile radius area, and more damage is dealt if enemies are towards the center. On top of all this, the skill duration is our beloved length of infinite. This is more or less a fire and forget skill. Pick a good target and watch the destruction happen and chill. Well, not chill, it's pretty fiery and all that. Speaking of forget, don't forget that you can deactivate this skill whenever you want. If you want to attack enemies not in the area of death, you have the option. But keep in mind that you do have to charge the skill up again. And it would be a crime if I didn't isolate the sound this skill makes for your ASMR hearing pleasures. Random tips with Fiammetta! So you might have noticed that all of the fried chicken skills are generated by attacking. Great because of the attack speed boosting talent, but also the chance to abuse SP generating abilities. The idea is that you have Fiammetta's skill 2 equipped, and give her any SP generating buddies necessary to spam out those explosions. Shen, Arketo, Sadia, Liskarm, Warfrin, anyone that can reliably generate SP will really boost the amount of damage Fia deals. You might have also noticed that to blow up these sweet spots, you will need a good place to post our fire chicken on, and that can be easier or harder depending on the map. Some maps will give you that perfect Ifrit lane, which by the way, skill 2 prime real estate right there, and some maps will make using Fiammetta really awkward and unable to make full use of her kit, so just keep that in mind. If you are considering getting the module, wait for the second one to come out. The first buffs up the attack speed talent and giving a bit of it when the skill is active. But the second module upgrades the attack boosting talent, which makes use of Fiammetta's high damage multipliers, and personally I'd rather have that instead. So, should you build Fiammetta? If you value obliterating a single spot over and over, yes, with cool sounds as a bonus. If you value flexible positioning, you really need a good deployment spot to make the most of Fiammetta. If you value range, don't forget that those explosions at the end of Fia's attack range stretches further because of the whole big AoE thing. And if you're craving some fried chicken, yes, because you 100% know what I mean by that. Finally, some good fucking food. And finally, here are the poultry stats, potentials, trust bonuses, base skills, and my E264 M6 Fiammetta, which, fun fact, for the longest time I've been calling Fiammetta with an L instead of an I, cause I'm blind or something. And that was the Fried Chicken Operator Guide. Thank you for watching, and on a totally unrelated note, I'm off to eat some fish and chips.